Welcome to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, powered by the College of Southern Nevada. Each week, we'll be featuring business owners and entrepreneurs that will provide their personal recipes for business, powerful conversations, and knowledge of the business world. We amplify the stories of various backgrounds, cultures, and expertise. Our self-identity is as diverse as our social community. We cultivate a community of like-minded individuals that share their different perspectives, broadening our worldview. Are you ready? This is the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Welcome back to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, under the operation of the College of Southern Nevada here at the North Las Vegas campus for another greeting, inspirational, and touching episode. I am your host, Sean Torrey, with our DJ Icebreak.
DJ Icebreak.
Our episode for today is called Powerful Messages with Chale, with a special guest. Now, this gentleman right here, ladies and gentlemen, is providing quality messages through his company. But outside of that, this gentleman right here happens to be a great profounding member of the greatest fraternity of all Black Greek letter organizations, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Okay, he's my frat brother coming from Mu Sigma chapter. I salute you. Salute to all the Mu Sigma bros out there upstate New York. Salute to all y'all. Okay, our guest today is the founder and CEO of Chale, an all-powered relationship management platform that reminds, recommends, and automatically mails personalized greeting cards for the users. I am a happy subscriber, by the way. I am a happy subscriber. Our guest today he founded this company in a way for him to stay and meaningful connected with close friends and loved ones amid hustle and bustle in his technology career, okay? Outside of Chale, our guest works an innovation strategy senior manager for MGM Resorts International, okay? He has a background in accounting, consulting, and advisory services, working with members of BDO USA LLP. Salute to them. Price Waterhouse Coopers, various assurances departments, while earning both his Bachelor of Science in Accounting from the State University of New York College. Also, his master's in information technology and auditing and cybersecurity from Temple University. Man, this guy's an animal, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, our guest also serves as the business voice of the Governor's Workforce Development Board. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, and the digital king, the tech guru, driven founder and CEO of Chale, Derek Jiffy. What's up, my good brother? How you feeling? Man, look at him. You hear how he chill? Man, we good. Like, he really he embracing this. He on the show today. How you doing, Derek?
I'm doing well, brother. Man. I'm doing well. Can't complain. Blessed.
Man, it's crazy to say you've done all this. And ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman right here is only 25 years old. 25. He's a quarter. Okay, this man is a quarter, and he's done all this. Come on, talk, Derek. Your bio your intro just didn't do you justice. Please tell the people about yourself, Derek.
Man, 25 years old. I'll just say I've been incredibly blessed.
Right.
I've just been incredibly blessed. My family's from West Africa, Ghana. I came to the U.S. when I was 8. Met my mother for the first time when I was 8. We lived in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Right.
Moved to and then around when I was 9, 10, we moved over to Columbus, Ohio. So I was raised in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And then I finally decided to, Columbus, Ohio. I'm the oldest of 5 kids of my mother. Mm-hmm. So I have a 21-year-old sister, an 18-year-old sister, a 17-year-old sister, and then a 14-year-old brother who I actually just moved to Las Vegas on Monday. So yeah, that's kind of my upbringing. So I think 25, but just given that my mother was a single mother of 5 and being the oldest, I had to grow up relatively very quickly.
Right.
And I think when I was about 14, just like my little brother, I actually decided to go back to Ghana for high school. So I went back to high school in Ghana, and then after high school, came back to the U.S. Because I had some issues with my dad. So lived in the Bronx for a little bit. So I got back to the U.S. I had no plans on coming back to the U.S. for college or nothing. So got to New York. I had an uncle who said, "Hey, I know your mom. Mom's struggling. She has 4 kids. She's figuring it out. So I'll take you in." So I was living in the Bronx on 164th Street. So shout out to all my South Bronx people. y'all know the vibes.
Man.
And yeah, I kind of just figured out college there, right? So took my SATs, ACTs. I actually started college late because I got back from Ghana in June, and it was too late for me to kind of go to college in the fall. So ended up taking my SATs in September, SATs and ACTs in September. Googled the best state university in the state of New York.
Right.
It turns out Geneseo was it, and just ended up apply. Luckily I got in, and I started in the spring.
Man, come on, talk about it, D.
Yeah, man. So that's a bit more about kind of my upbringing. That's kind of what it is, and so went to Geneseo. I thought I was my dad's a pharmacist, so I thought I was actually going to go go to pharmacy school, go study business admin chem. But then I took my first accounting class, and man, the dollar signs just made sense. Right. The money just made sense.
Right.
So ended up switching, and at that time, my dad and I didn't have the best relationship, so ended up just pivoting, switching my major to accounting, and I didn't really have any mentors or anything, so I kind of just had to figure it out. And it was through that I ended up becoming a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to Mu Sigma chapter, upstate New York.
Come on.
First state, no state. Y'all know the vibes.
Come on.
So did that. Got a couple of internships with PwC, which is the largest. It was part of the Big Four, and the most profound accounting firm in the world. Right. So got a couple of internships, and that's how I got exposed to accounting, got exposed to the technology side of accounting. And it's funny, I came back after that internship like, man, I'm passionate about tech. I like money, I like business as well. How do I merge both? So, the internship exposed me to that and decided that, hey, I was gonna go to grad school. Literally, I came back that semester after that internship and decided that, hey, I was gonna go to grad school.
All right.
Ended up packing that semester. That semester 24 credits. And decided that I was going to put the applications in, got the recommendations, and I got accepted into the IT audit and cybersecurity program at Temple University in Philly. And literally in a matter of a semester, I decided I was going to grad school and found an internship in Philly with BDO and ended up moving to Philly. And went to grad school in Philly, and that was amazing. I worked for BDO, went back to PwC, and then came back to BDO to do cybersecurity. I kind of thought I had my whole life figured out. I had it all planned out, and then I got an opportunity to move out to Vegas.
Right.
Off of an old boss that I used to work with when I was college. He just reached out to me. Hey, Derek, I need to man up your talent in Las Vegas. I'm like, I was already going to work for PwC.
Right.
But you're somebody that I trust, so I'll hear you out. So I came to Vegas. It was a nonprofit out here that he was working for, and I've always thought about doing purposeful, mission-driven work.
Right.
So ended up met with the team. I guess I said things that aligned with what they were looking for, and they offered me the job. And mind you, I knew nobody in Las Vegas.
That's true.
I never thought I was going to move out to Las Vegas, and it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. So, trusting in God, I just said yes, and I moved out here. So that's a bit more about my background, my upbringing, and how I got to Las Vegas, man.
Right. No, thank you for that, man, because I love hearing your story. You actually, there's parts of the story of you that you left out, but it's cool. You got to the gist of what I wanted folks to understand. Someone who came over from Ghana, not like take care of your brothers and sisters. Now your little brother's here. And I know the crew and us, the team, the family that's here, we're going to make sure your little brother's fine. But
appreciate that, man. For real.
Of course,
it means a lot.
Not even a question. And it's funny, folks. How I met Derek, I was on my way out because Nevada Partners and Calv shared the same building at the time, and I was working for Nevada Partners, and Derek was going into Calv. I was on my way out, but then Mark, the CEO of Calv at the time, who's also our fraternity brother, he was like, "Hey, I need you to meet, as you know, brother. He's young. He doesn't know anyone. Take him in." I said, "Okay, bet." So we met. It was like, "All right, bet, cool." We met, good people, cool.
It's wild, man.
But then it's wild because then we didn't connect. I think we connected like a month later because then it ended up being, I think you went to church with our other friend Darius. Darius actually, he was on the show as well, talking about Ballyhoo. In season 1, so definitely check out his episode 2. You met Darius, and then next thing you know, we're all out, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, what's up?"
Bro, and it's so crazy how I met Darius because we don't even go to that church no more, man.
Right.
And but I put up to the church. Mind you, we don't go to this church. I just faith is important to me, so I just moved out here. I'm trying to find a church home.
Right.
So I pull up. I'm sitting in the pile, and then there's this dude just sitting alone.
Yeah.
And you know me, I like to connect with people. I'm like, yo, I just go tap him like, yo, you good? Like I can sit next to you. He's like, yeah. And mind you, we just start chopping it up, and that's Darius.
Right.
Just literally out of nowhere, out of the blue.
Darius.
Right, and come to find out a couple of weeks later that all y'all know each other. Like, boy.
A couple weeks later, all of us know each other, and then hit off ever since. And I want to say that was 4 or 5 years ago. Then when that happened, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 years ago. I was about to say about 5 because about 4 or 5 because I left. That was 4 years.
Nah, about 3 because I've been in Vegas 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. So about right when I first got to Vegas.
Okay, no, that was 18.
Man.
That was 4.
Look, you got it.
Yeah, it's 18 because I remember because I just celebrated 4 years here, and that's how I know because in 5 we get something. At CSN we get something. But besides that, I've seen the growth you've done with Calv, and then you left Calv. Right before you left Calv, you started Chale Cards. Well, Chale, your company, Chale. And doing Chale, and I love them, by the way. Your greeting cards are phenomenal. Then now you also work at MGM. So if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman who's responsible, one of the leads for the Jabberwocky NFT, it is this gentleman right here. Folks didn't know that. I seen it all over the news. I was like, that was Derek's project, bro. Come on.
Crazy.
Talk about that, man. Like your skills from all the way from really from your undergrad to your graduate to working for Calv, MGM. How did those experiences prepare you to operate Chale?
It's the beauty of it is like even with Chale, I like to say like I'm not the most entrepreneurial person because I think our generation specifically over glamorizes like entrepreneurship. Like everybody wants to have their own business. Everybody wants to wants to be a boss, right? Yeah. Wants to be independent, and I think for me. I've always wanted to be a servant, right? Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to be a learner. I pride myself in being teachable, and I think that's what that's what's prepared me for Chale, right? To even have the confidence to even start Chale, is because at Calv I was a 22-year-old executive. Yeah. I was a 22-year-old technology executive.
Yeah, that deserves some claps.
And if I'm being honest, I had no idea, what I was doing. Like I was really, I came in with the resilience of, hey, I was the first ever technology executive for the organization, right. And I was ready to transform and bring the organization into 2020. Yeah, and I would not stop at anything to make it happen. So I think there's that resilience, and over the course of my educational background and previous information security, I had prepared me to be in the role, but it was just more internal of, hey, being black, right? Of, hey, I'm 22. If everybody else made a mistake, it was because it was a mistake. Mm-hmm. But when I made a mistake, it was because he's young. He's inexperienced. He's young. He's inexperienced. Oh, he's black too. Yeah. So it's just imposter syndrome like crazy. Oh man. But when COVID happened and you had to, when COVID happened, there wasn't a playbook for COVID. Yeah. Right. It's either, hey, you show up or you shut up. Mm-hmm. Right. And being the person who was at the helm of technology, this was an organization that didn't have laptops when I got on board, that we didn't have campus Wi-Fi when I got on board, that it was my role to make sure that we drove that. Amid COVID, we're able to keep our doors open and also still operate our business even amid COVID, right? So make sure we got the laptops, we got campus-wide Wi-Fi, that we had that our network infrastructure was just not on premises, but we had a cloud strategy where everybody could work remote. That's not something that we had done before.
Right.
So being able to do that amid COVID gave me the confidence that, man, oh, your age actually doesn't matter. Oh, you actually you know what you're doing.
Right.
So it gave me the confidence to say, hey, man, I've done this. I know what I'm doing. You can't fail because the world's already ended.
Right.
Right. And I think that significantly prepared me, gave me the boost to say, hey, whatever, you're smart enough, you're talented enough, you know what you're doing, and just go do it. Right. Where I think a lot of us just growing up in, just given where we're coming from, we feel like we have to beg for a voice. We have to, we're almost scared to take up space. Where now, post COVID and given what I was able to do at the academy, from going from, hey, no campus wide Wi-Fi to, hey, we're building our third virtual reality application. It's just like, the world is your oyster, right? So Chale is the first startup that I'm on, but I fully trust in God there's more to come.
Come on, there definitely is more to come. Let's talk about it. Okay. So can you think of a time where you planned something and it didn't go accordingly? How did you make that work?
I planned something and it didn't go accordingly.
Yeah. How did you make it work?
I think that actually happens a lot more frequently than you think, right? I think, there's this quote that we make our plans and God laughs.
God laughs, yes.
I'll say even me coming to Las Vegas, right? In my head, my sister, I had accepted a job offer with PwC and a job offer with the government, right? I was going to work for PwC until my clearance came in to go work for the government, because my sister was 18 at the time. She was about to start college.
Right. And
she had no idea. I was the first person she knew that I was going to college.
Right.
Right. So I was going to go home, help her figure that out, and then I'll move to DC to go work for the government. And then, hey, I get a call out of nowhere like, yo, hey, I need a man of your talent in Las Vegas. Like, come on, I signed. I've already signed 2 job offers. Like, what you mean?
Right.
Right. So I think, just being open, right? That, hey, this life is not my own. God's gonna put me in the position that He wants me in, and whenever that call comes, I'm always gonna say yes.
Right.
Right. So I think that's a good example that I'll give you.
No, I agree. I definitely appreciate that, because you've been one of the main people I definitely turn to when it comes to that spiritual accountability, because there's moments where we get in the way of our own blessings, because we see the potential of like, hey, this is what we want, but God is like, no, no, this means something is coming and I have something better. Just wait. And the prime example of that is me buying this house. And I tell it to Derek, because Derek knows when I was upset, I would call and talk to him and he'd be like, it's coming, bro. I'm like, nah, it's not. But then I had to remember, I'm like, you know what? He's right. But I love going to you for that, because you allow me to vent, but you're the voice of reason who can tell me like, hey, bro, nah.
Bro, and you know what's crazy is like, the plans were bigger. Like, look, and I'm sure everybody doesn't know, but like this has happened in such a profound way.
It has, yes.
In the market that it's happening in. Yeah. With I think it's like 30 days of like inventory on the market. Yeah. But for some reason, Sean Torrey got a crib.
Yeah, I don't know how. Actually, I do know. That was all God. That was definitely all God. Yes. Shout out to God, but shout out to Derek, because the discipline, the humility that came with just, let me listen to my brother, man. He's gonna ride me in the right direction. It's not something I want to hear right at the moment, but I know I'll reflect and be like, I appreciate that. Thank you, God. And I wanted to give you your flowers on that. Because just hearing that example is what we all should exemplify. Because things can change very quick, and you're like, nah, man, but there's a reason. And you never would have met me if that happened, right? That's crazy. Or done the things you've done in Vegas, especially with the Jabbawockeez and every other things that you're doing. So salute to you there. Can you think of a time? Not think of a time. Sorry. What are some things you've experienced that could have worked out in theory, but did not go that way in practice?
A good example would be here with Chale, right? Mm-hmm. We started how Chale came about was, friend from college, she had just given me a call. Her name's Fumi. Shout outs to Fumi. She gave me a call, like, just to catch up, right? Like, hey, Derek, I have this idea about starting a business that really focuses on the African diaspora, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of maybe names and different tribes or different dialects on a shirt. I'm like, yo, and I'm one person that you don't just come to me with ideas, right? I find myself in just being able to, I think I'm gifted enough to be able to not only hear a vision, but be able to put a plan, right, to execute upon that vision. So, Fumi came to me and I'm like, all right, okay, so what we gonna do? Let's do it.
Right.
What we gonna call it? We were playing around a couple of names and we said Chale Inc. And then that's how Chale came about, just a call from Fumi. And then I slept on it one night and I'm just like, we're going to start an apparel business. And I slept on it and I woke up like, nah. The apparel space is really saturated.
Yeah, it's saturated. Yeah.
Like, how do we how do we solve? How do we do the same thing but solve a problem? And that's where Chale was birthed. Was, greeting cards, right? There's not a lot of diversity or representation in greeting cards. Mm-hmm. So how this came about, and this is so crazy because Juneteenth is coming up.
Yes.
Was I literally went on the Hallmark website and typed in Google and typed and searched Juneteenth cards. Silence.
Dang.
Didn't find nothing. And you could do it right now.
Yeah.
Silence, nothing. So I'm like, wait, Juneteenth? Like, they don't got no Juneteenth card? All right. African American cards. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Black cards, African, like literally, and eventually started getting results, but it was just very blanket results. So I'm just like, okay, there's something here. So Hallmark is a private company. I'm like, let's check out public companies. American Greeting Corp is the largest public greeting card company. Same results. I'm just like, for me, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the niche. Like, like if we want to do something, it's not apparel. It's a greeting card space.
Right.
And that's how. That's how Chale was birthed. But an experience, moving as we went through our beta. Fast forward as we went through our beta, one of the things that I thought was, one, I don't like to build businesses alone. I like to bring as many people as possible on the journey with me.
Right.
But as much as that sounds good in theory,
yes,
sounds good in theory, and
man,
it ain't always practical.
No, it's not.
Right. So. Chale in November we launched our beta, and our beta is kind of our test to actually prove that this concept works as we go into building our app itself. And a month in, as we're going through it, people are overwhelmed. People, there's life's happening, and it's just like, I can't do this anymore, bro. And it's just like, oh man, but I have, at that time, this was in 30 days, right? Yeah. We had a very short window to take orders. It's literally just down to me and one of my co-founders when we're a team of 5, and we had to literally fulfill these orders and figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, my plan was this was going to be a 5-team thing. Yeah. And we're going to close out this beta and start development in January, February of this year.
Right.
But now it's just me. It's just my co-founder and my frat brother Wilson and I. It's just like, yes, life happens, and I do firmly believe that that our old team will come back together as things start to settle.
Right.
But that's an example that I'll say that, hey, I planned things in my head. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Man, it just ain't really turned out this way.
Nah, trust me, I definitely understand, because I want to continue this as get ready to put you in something. Are you ready for the next thing, good sir?
Oh, let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go. We're going to put you in the hot seat, good sir. We're going to talk more about that. Chale. In this segment, we provide depth questions to learn more about you as a guest, but particularly to your business, right? So we're going to ask you some real good questions about Chale. So let's get into it, right? Where did the name, because I know how you said it came about, but what does it mean, Chale?
Chale is I'm West African. I'm from Ghana, and Chale is it's an expression, right? What it really means is friend. It's friend.
That's nice.
But it's crazy, you know, when you're in West Africa, in Ghana, you know, a lot of things that Ghanaians are known for is like, yo, Chale, what's up? Chale, how far? Like, Chale, where they going? It's just like, you know, it's like it's a form of endearment, right? But then it's also like, yo, you know, Sean told me, man, you know, my mom's not feeling well. I'm like, damn, Chale.
Yeah.
Like, damn. You know, it's also like, you know, it could be like, damn, I feel for you, bro. Then it's good. And then it could also be, yo, Chale, like, yo, like, Chale, like, what's up? Like, you know? So it's just, it has so many different meanings. And it could be used when you're happy. It could be used when you're sad. It could be used when when everything's going for you. And it could also be used when you're just figuring it out. Right, so part of the reason why we chose Chale was because of this. When we think about greeting cards, it's not just for the high moments. It's not just for the low moments.
Come on.
Right.
I love that.
But as you go through life, you always, and when it comes to the meaning of friend,
right.
Chale, you know, Chale is the tool that you always got with you to remind you of these things.
So you see him dropping these recipes right here. I love it. Oh, okay, this is great. So now I'm thinking about it, because you actually talked about your process, right, in developing Chale and how it's went from 5 to now it's really you and I think 2 or 3. But how does that process feel for you?
That's a great question. It's a journey, right? It's a process, right? And it's growing, right? I think for me, it's also a learning experience. Right. You know, I don't ever think that I'm doing things on my own. Right. Right. It's always, and I always go back to my faith, like, yo, God, you know, whatever you want to build this thing into, you'd want me to build this thing into, because I'm the vessel. Just leave me and let me do it.
Right.
Right. So I have every, because I'm not, I don't think it's something I'm doing on my own. I have every confidence that literally in the next 12 to 18 months, Chale will be $1 million business.
Come on, talk about it. Talk about it.
So just having that faith, and just knowing that this is what we're working towards is like I'm all in.
Yeah, all in. All money in.
So
let's go.
It's the ups. If it's the ups, we're gonna ride the ups. The downs, we're gonna ride the downs, and we can continuously figure it out.
Gotcha. So thinking about where Chale has started, what it has become, messaging, meaning, those purposeful, those things matter to your company, right? So what are the most common mistakes you see businesses make when it comes to their messaging and how they're executing it?
Representation matters.
Yeah.
Representation matters. I think, one of the biggest things that Chale that we're doing in this space is, we don't want just the Christmas, just the Christmas holiday cards.
Right.
We don't just want the Mother's Day, Father's Day cards, but we want the cards with the mental health. Like mental health is important. Hey, bro, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? Right. Like, I want to send you a card for that. Mm-hmm. Right. How are you doing? Just health awareness as a whole. Like people, there are dates in people's lives that are extremely important that are not just their birthdays. Mm-hmm. And an example I'll give you is the day that you are fully cleared of cancer. Yeah. If you had a cancer survivor in your life, that day, people never forget that day. Yeah. And as part of Chale, we think those days should be remembered. Right.
Come on, man. Love it.
So just not really cultural holidays. Juneteenth is coming. Juneteenth just became a national holiday.
Yes, last year.
We should have been celebrating Juneteenth
for years.
Right, and there should be cards, and they're probably, the big companies are probably making
now
cards. They are,
but because there's been cities that's been doing festivals for Juneteenth, right? I know Vegas really they've had small events, but not to the magnitude where it's at now, right? My first real exposure to Juneteenth, believe it or not, was in Reno.
It's crazy.
Reno, Nevada. Of all places, I knew what Juneteenth was, but I never seen it to a festival level where you have people performing, you got people talking messages.
Yeah.
Reno, Nevada was the first place I've seen a Juneteenth festival. And then they have folks from Texas come up to talk about the history about it. And I'm like, whoa, like, why is this not a national day? So now I'll tell you 12 years later, to see it a national holiday is crazy. It's crazy.
Look, it's wild. So as you know, for Chale, it's not, hey, we get the big national holidays. That's where the money's at. But hey, the representation matters. Juneteenth matters. Cinco de Mayo matters. The day that you're fully cleared of cancer matters. Mental health awareness. I'm just checking in on you.
Suicide prevention. So those days that you survived. Yes.
And it's crazy because there's a plethora of research out there that shows that, and part of the reason why Chale is not just a fully digital business and we actually send physical cards is because there's a lot of research out there that shows that the physical cards, physical notes, actually reduces suicidal rates and actually improves mental health for people that they actually have the physical in their hands. But Chale, our whole goal is how do we make, instead of you having to go to the grocery store to find a card and then having to go to the post office to figure out stamps. We're digital natives.
Right.
Most people don't even know that the from goes on the top left and the person's address goes in the most people don't know that.
That's crazy. Right? Yeah, that's true though. It's true. Yeah, folks don't know the format.
They don't know the format on how to send physical goods to people. True. So how do we simplify this experience through our app on your phone?
I love that. I love it. Yeah. See, I kind of feel foolish asking this next question, but I want to ask because I want to hear your response. How has Chale been a benefit to not only the Las Vegas community, but to the world? Because the one launch you had, I remember I couldn't wait because I bought that card for Jasmine, for my fiance, and she loved it. Like I was just like, man, let's see what happens. And she's like, I actually was wanting one of these cards. Thank you. And she loved it. So talk about that. Like, yeah.
It's, our whole thing is, how do we connect people in simple, easy, and meaningful ways? Right. And that's it. We really want to put the African diaspora on the map, right? We're all over, right? But how do we find ways to connect people in a way that it's simple, easy, and convenient? And a very tangible example that I'll give you is if I'm an immigrant child. Yeah. I went to high school in West Africa, Ghana. There are friends out there that would love to be able to send me something for my birthday, or send me a card for my birthday. However, they're not able to do that because of the mail-in postal system out there. Right. Well, through Chale, right, irrespective of where you are in the world, you're able to go on our app, and if I want to send, if they're there but they want to send me something, they just have to go and fill in the information, select the card they want, and it gets delivered to me on my birthday, just like they would have if they were here.
Man, come on. That's super phenomenal. Okay.
Right. So, to answer your question, we're, you're bringing everybody together. We're in the globalized world, but how do we still bring everybody even closer together, but still preserving the meaningfulness of the physical, of the tangibles that people can hold and touch?
Okay, man, love to hear it. I love it. So then the next question I have for you is, how has that transition been? Because from being a 9-to-5 guy, essentially, to now incorporating a business at the same time, because you still work the 9-to-5, but it's different for you, right? A little bit, but also being an entrepreneur. How has that balance been?
Stressful. Stressful. Figuring it out, man. Yeah. Curtis, DJ Iceberg, and I were just talking about it. Like, man, we don't got to figure it out. I don't have it figured out. Yeah. I don't know what that balance is, man. And also being young, you got a professional career. You have this really great starter that you believe in, that that you want to build, and there's also life. Yeah. Right.
That you want to experience. Yeah.
Life that you want to experience. Mm-hmm. I now have a 14-year-old brother that's out here that I have to enroll into high school. I've never enrolled a kid in high school before. So it's it's a process, right? But at the end of the day, I go back to, look, God's put me here for a reason.
Amen.
Right. These visions don't come from anywhere. Mm-hmm. Right. So if he's trusted you with it, he'll equip you with the tools to make it happen.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes that tool is balance. So the balance is gonna come, right? With the right. Sometimes it's meeting the right people, having the right conversations, and it's just gonna happen.
Come on, man. Talk about it. And see, guess what? You made it through the hot seat, bro. It wasn't even that hard. See? Because now we're gonna go into the
You don't got no sauce there.
Because we're gonna get lost in your sauce, good sir.
We also get lost in the sauce.
So in this segment, it gives us more insight of our guests, where we ask, what is your special ingredient for your business? Like, really, why nobody can replicate what you do. So, Mr. Derek, Mr. Chimothy, tell us what makes Chale Cards, or Chale, my apologies, a business nobody can duplicate what you do.
It's the team.
The team.
Right? The team. I'm big on there's no such thing as an original idea. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of people have great ideas, but can you really execute on the idea?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think I have the very best team between myself and my co-founder and COO Wilson. Shout outs to him. He actually starts MBA, his MBA at Columbia Business School. Columbia is a top 5 business school.
Yeah, the top 5 business school. Yes.
Top 5 business school.
Congratulations, King. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. And it's just like, we know what we're doing. We just brought on a new developer, extremely talented, actually from Ghana. Also, bring our graphic designers actually from Las Vegas.
Okay.
Extremely talented, Kia Powell, and it's just like our team is it. Yeah. Right. Our team, and then the interconnectedness of our team is just like this is, and the belief in what we're doing.
Right.
Right. And I think that's not something you can replicate.
Man,
you
can't replicate.
Yeah. So, you can't build something like that.
So, what would you say your secret ingredients is for Chale?
We care about what we're doing, man.
Yeah. Talk about it, man.
It's not, I could easily tell you it's the technology stack that we're putting into the product.
Right.
But anybody could replicate that. Yeah. Right. I could easily tell you that it's the concept of being able to personally manage relations. But anybody could do that. Right. But being able to see a vision, work towards and build the right team to execute upon it, who actually really care. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Man, thank you for giving us your sauce,
you don't got no sauce,
man. This is inspiring. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what you all do within the next 8 to 12, 24 months.
It's about to be crazy,
It's going to be crazy.
It's about to be crazy, man.
So I just want to thank you for coming on to the show, Derek. As you know, I've been wanting to get you on the show for a while, and it's great to hear the growth and where you've come with Chale. I've seen it since the birth, and the continued success and fulfillment that you all are placing within the world, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I want to give you your flowers for that. And as we go into giving your flowers, we're going to go into the last segment of the show, which is the happy hour, ladies and gentlemen. I got something for you, B. On behalf of the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, this is for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in this last segment, we're going to take a toast between the host and the guests, right? So to see whatever going on that's great for your business, big or small. So what are we taking a toast to, good sir?
To finding the very best developer we could find.
Come on.
Now we're going to the next phase of building the platform itself. So the first go around, we got the cards, we tested the cards. Now we're actually building the digital platform.
Come on now. I love it. To Derek, to Chale, to the team, toast, much love. Yes, sir. So Derek, please let the people know, where can they find Chale Cards? Where can they find you? Drop all the social handles, sir.
All right, let's do it. Hey, so you can find us at www.chale.io, CHALE.io. Just go and put in your email, sign up, be the first to know when our platform launches, because it's gonna be crazy. You can find me on Instagram at Kojo Says, KOJOSAYS. Hey, looking forward to connecting with all of y'all, man. It's always love.
Man, thank you, Derek. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Man, thank you. This is such a great episode, so powerful. So thank you, Derek. I can't thank you enough. Ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, everyone, please make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, the.bib.podcast, every other social media platform, every other YouTube podcast, The Bib Podcast. Follow us, ladies and gents. Subscribe, listen, share the show. Make sure you follow Derek. Let people know about Chalet so they can spread the world. Let people know. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show. This is the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the Bib Podcast, where everybody eats. I am your host, Sean Torrey, with our DJ Icebreak.
DJ Icebreak.
And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.